What up? It's your boy T-Bear Reaction. Today's Music Monday. Today's Music Monday is on of the late great Quincy Jones, who we sadly lost today. RP to the Music Man himself, right there though. Now, with tomorrow being election day, I thought it was the perfect time to react to this video from Digging the Greats, Brandon, and this is none other than talking about one of the most iconic drum sample of all time that can be heard in many hip hop as well as an R&B song, and that's none other than "Impeach the Presidents." So, which was at time used for the time they wanted President time impeached. Now, anybody can look at this for whatever president you're against, whether it's Trump or if you happen to be against Kamala. I mean, I'm all Kamala. I don't care what y'all saying. I mean, I know there's people that are against Kamala, accusing some one of my favorite reactors. No hard feelings against that as well too. You know what I mean? Everybody have the right to their opinion and political views as well too. I mean, as long as they respect each other as well too. But anyway, I won't say no names, but if you've seen this video, you'll see. But it's nothing against them, so yeah, don't block me, man. I still love you, dude. Anyway, we want to check out from Digging the Greats, "Impeach the Presidents." Let's get it. Was shaped a lot of samples. It was been sampled by a lot of ours.
This drum intro has been sampled over 800 times.
800. Jesus Christ. Yup.
Yes, this is.
Right, yup. I was back on drums.
I can't play all 800. I've got other stuff to say. But this original sample, the song is called "Impeach the President," and it was released by the Honey Drippers in 1973. But here's the thing. This is a fantastic few bars of drums, but when you dig into the story of this song, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Roy Charles Hammond, also known as Roy C., he was a soul singer who had a hit in 1965. He started a couple labels, he had a couple other minor hits, and in 1973 he discovered a band of high school students from Jamaica, Queens, who called themselves the Honey Drippers. He had them record some stuff, including this song, "Impeach the President," which was a protest song against Richard Nixon. Roy C. is also on the track. But they released this song and that was it. It didn't sell particularly well, it wasn't a massive hit, it just sort of fell into obscurity. There aren't official numbers of how many copies were sold.
I think I heard about that. I think, matter of fact, GJ Freeman might said something about that. Like, I heard about that, how this song wasn't, like, pop, didn't get no hit, wasn't a hit, didn't make any sales, and only released by these guys. But later on down the line, it became so iconic. And it's always, again, crazy about stories like this. Because, whether it's music or movies, it's crazy how a lot of these songs, movies, TV shows, etc., that are so iconic, at first was bombs or didn't sell well as well too. This is one. The movie Scarface was a box office bomb. It was another movie I can think I reacted to recently. I found out it was a box office bomb. But it's crazy to hear about that though. How some of these movies that became pop culture or iconic songs or movies that came pop culture or iconic, that their initial release or time they released was a fail. It's always interesting to hear a story about that.
But it's safe to say not many. So how did we get from there, a random song recorded by high schoolers, to this drum intro being one of the most sampled things in history? Well, there are a few steps, and this is going to lead to one of what I think is the better analogies that I've made. But first, let me take a quick second to thank the sponsor of today's video, Bombas. Look, I didn't think socks were a big deal. I didn't think they'd make a difference. They're just socks.
I usually like to do this, but I am not about to do nothing about no socks. I did the music, but come on, man. I got love for your hustle, but yeah. Hold on, let's go back. The bridge. I should have known. The bridge, yup. Let's keep going.
/Digging the Greats and use code Digging the Greats at checkout. So where we're gonna start is Marley Marl. He produced the MC Shan track, The Bridge, in 1986. Honey Drippers, MC Shan, and Marley Marl.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Honey Drippers in the house tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got MC Shan and Marley Marl in the house tonight.
Marley Marl is playing this sample, but also chopping it up in the process.
He is.
This is one of the first samples of Impeach the President, and it only picks up from there. And again, I'm not going to be able to name every song that this is sampled in. That would take forever. But we got Ultramagnetic MCs, Eazy-E, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, MC Lyte, NWA, The Jungle Brothers, Big Daddy Kane, EPMD, Run DMC, Salt and Pepper, LL Cool J, The Ghetto Boys, Tupac, Biggie, Ice Cube, Biz Markie. I have to stop listing names. You get the point. Starting with MC Shan and Marley Marl in 1986, this makes sense. Marley Marl found the record, sampled the drum intro, chopped it up, and that's it, right? The late 80s and early 90s are the golden age of hip-hop sampling. But you're telling me that 800 different producers all found this record independently and went, yeah, that's great, I'm gonna sample that. No, something else is going on here. Well, a few things. For one, we gotta talk about Ultimate Breaks and Beats. Ultimate Breaks and Beats was a series of compilation records compiled by Lenny Roberts and Luis Flores, aka Breakbeat Lou. This was a revolutionary series of 25 records that were released between 1986 and 1991. Here's why this was so revolutionary. During the 80s, this is the heyday of the drum machine. Acts like Run DMC or Africa Bambaataa utilized this, but then the drum machine technology evolved into samplers, and as those got more affordable, this changed the sound of hip-hop. It was becoming much easier to sample something off a record and loop it.
Thanks to...
So producers are
shout out to Direct Production, thanks to the MPC 62. Was I heard no, the 60 was like was expensive, but the 62 was the one that got it because it was like, they said, I don't know how, I remember the story, he said it was like way cheaper. That was crazy. But anyway,
digging through the crates, trying to find great samples to build songs with. Enter Ultimate Breaks and Beats. It's the Splice pack before Splice was a compilation of songs.
Little history right there is real too. I mean, that's true. Yeah, records like before internet, it was this is if you wanted just this drum set as well too, instead of like buying like drum packs from like the internet, from like websites wherever that show like drum packs like Tracklist, Splice, Sounds, I think, whereas the whatever new name for native BPM, Create, these other sites that hold as well too, you had to buy instead of sampling the songs and just wasting records just for one part sample. You get records like these Ultimate Break though. It was used for a producer as well as DJs for like extra sound effects for their competitions or mixtapes as well too. So yeah, this was stuff like that. Something I learned about one more time was getting into DJ as well too. Before I even had my own stuff, I like to get the catalog, stuff like that, and they used to sell. Other than the DJ equipment, they used to sell breakbeats records just like this as well too. So yeah,
with incredible.
Actually, even bought before when I got my first turntable earlier. When I went to New York with a school trip, a college trip. I went to a record store and they had it, and I bought a breakbeat. They had like a lot of old it was like breakbeats and Baltimore club beats. It was crazy, and samples. And I actually I put stuff together and stuff like that as well too. Never record myself, but you know, I had the technology for that. But yeah, let's keep going. Sorry, I'm getting off subject.
It's ready to be sampled all on one record. Lenny and Lou have done some of the digging for you. This volume I have. Let's check what's on here. Sing a Simple Song by the funk group Please. We got Cold Sweat by James Brown. All of these are super funky songs, and if you're a hip-hop producer during this golden age, late 80s, early 90s, this is a gold mine. Breakbeat Lou even had a way of telling when a song had been sampled from an Ultimate Breaks record, as he explained. On those compilations, I extended many drum breaks so that it would be easier for DJs and producers to use them. Sometimes I would change the speed of a break, and other times there might be a pop sound in the break. I could always tell who sampled Impeach the President from Ultimate Breaks and Beats because I could hear that pop. That's right. Impeach the President is on an Ultimate Breaks record. Ultimate Breaks and Beats provided producers with a shortcut.
Yep.
A compilation, a legitimately published record, by the way, of some of the best crate digs that you could find. But then they're helping you out too by lengthening drum breaks or even changing the tempo. As Breakbeat Lou further...
You know, the same thing that these newer sites does, like Track Label, to give you extended loops and stuff like that. So yeah, just give you help. It's pretty awesome. I mean, we had it's stuff that did exist before the internet though. It was in records or possibly CDs as well too.
Explained. Some records we played around with the speed on, like Amen Brother, which is another one that has been sampled so many times, is played at 45 RPM, but when the break started, we slowed it down to 33 RPM, and that version is used on Straight Outta Compton by NWA. Ultimate Breaks and Beats does not get enough credit, not only for giving producers incredible songs and loops to sample, but for helping create the sound of hip-hop during this time. Because, think about it, we said there's these 800 producers who sampled Impeach the President. They all didn't just happen upon the original record and independently go, oh, I should sample this, right? Well, similarly, they didn't all pick up the Ultimate Breaks and Beats volume with the Honey Drippers on it and then all independently go, yeah, this is the one. No, there is a history at play here, a soundscape. The drum sample screams hip-hop. So when Nas in 2002 puts this drum sample in I Can, he's evoking all the other uses of this sample. When J. Cole in 2014 samples these drums, it's not just, oh, this is a cool loop. These drums have a history with the genre. It's part of the language. This is true in any genre of music. Take jazz, for instance. What are the things that define the sound of jazz? I mean, you got upright bass, the drummers playing the ride cymbal, but also things like a 2-5-1 chord progression. Those are used everywhere in jazz, and once you see those patterns, it all clicks into place. There's even the contrafact. It's a fancy term for taking a pre-existing chord progression and putting a new melody over the top of it. Like Charlie Parker's Ornithology, that's the same chords as the standard How High the Moon. It just has a different melody. And it's not just jazz. Contrafacts have been around since at least the 16th century. You would do this for the same reason. Hey, here's this thing that you know, and now I'm gonna put my twist on it. In jazz, the thing to do is to learn the tunes by ear and just know a ton of tunes. But there's also something called a real book or a fake book. So this started out as a fake book, the bootleg version, and then it became the real book, the officially published library of jazz chords, showing you the chords and melody. Now you don't have to just use your ear. You can read the music and get going faster. You can learn a ton. If you want to make a contrafact like Ornithology, the chords to How High the Moon are right there in the book. Ultimate Breaks and Beats is the real book of hip-hop. But it's more than that. It's also got within it the 2-5-1. It's got the ride cymbal. It's got the upright bass. It's handing you all of these ingredients and it's saying, go make something. Now, obviously, not every hip-hop song samples from an Ultimate Breaks record, but whether you're sampling directly from it, or getting an idea of where to look in your own record collection, or just hearing what other people are doing because of Ultimate Breaks, the influence of this series of Lenny and Breakbeat Lou, it's undeniable. That's why Impeach the President has been sampled so many times. It was in the real book of hip-hop. It's like a 2-5-1 progression in jazz. It gave a framework for producers to build a song with. But you know, recently, I wanted to answer another question. What is the first hip-hop song? Like, what is the first record that can be considered a hip-hop record? This was one of the deepest rabbit holes I've ever fallen down, and it took me much farther back than I expected. Literally centuries farther. But for that whole story, you gotta click here.
Yep. There you have it. So that's a good little history lesson as well too. To find out that the main reason why it got so popular, the sample look got so popular, is through a breakbeat album That was pretty. A compilation was pretty cool. I mean, before, early days before you have websites and websites that drop that put together drum packs with these little zips drives and all of that folks be selling for drum packs and stuff like that. You had a compilation album that had records that was breakbeats as well too. Used strictly for producers and DJs as well too. Later on, in an earlier edition of Beat Tapes I can think of was by the late great Mark the 45 King as well too. But other than that, if you like my reaction to this, shout out to Brandon Shaw of Digging the Greats. I hope I said his name right. And RIP to Quincy Jones as well too. It's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.